All right, kids, let me tell you a little story. Hey, friends, let us tell you a little story. It goes back 10 years ago now, which is pretty crazy to think about. We have been celebrating and being a part of 10 years of Summerhill. So we're going to do a little reminiscing and bring back some stories and great memories and talk about people who have helped shape this thing along the way. And so buckle up. Let's just talk about some of our favorite memories and places we've had opportunity to play, and just kind of what just immediately jumps out in your head. Kimberly, I'm putting you right in the spotlight right away. What jumps out to you immediately? What is some of your favorite?
The initial one, I guess I was thinking about Pondo, but our first drive out here was very interesting.
I was not a part of this.
Cody was not a part of this, but we took 15 seats out of a 30-passenger van.
Yeah, first off, let's just go ahead and again thank Sharon Missionary Baptist Church.
It was amazing.
For some reason said we're going to give those guys a full bus.
And we are so appreciative, but
Yes.
I will never in my life do that again.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely a memorable trip, and the bus barely made it home.
It literally coasted into Conway.
But again,
Trucking along.
thank you for the bus. It was
Yes.
cool, very cool, and
Wouldn't trade the experience.
yeah,
Just wouldn't do it again.
yeah, a lot of highlights. Cody, what about you, man?
I'm going to take it back to the very beginning. This is in the days of, seriously, me, Tark, Will, and now my brother-in-law, Richard Alonzo. And we were in Kentucky. We were playing at this very small event. And we're packing up. It's a late night. And we're tired. And we're, I don't know. Like, at that point, at that season of my life, I was a little more sensitive. And Will liked to beat up on me a little bit.
Yeah.
But we bonded that evening because a bird flew into the room that we were packing up in. And for the next 3.5 hours.
And that's not it. I don't think that's an exaggeration.
It's not. For the next 3.5 hours, we did everything from trying to get it in a plastic bag to swatting at it with trash can lids to throwing chairs at it. And then finally, I think the bird had either like a heart attack or something.
You killed it?
It was breathing really heavily, and but the key though is we spent a long time in the process. I know you. This is before your time, but we spent a long time in the process trying to get this thing out. But then we had some inspiration.
Yes.
Because we cranked up the sound system and blasted the final countdown.
Yes.
No.
I think we had to repeat it about 7 times.
I don't know. I feel like
Was it like the one and done?
I feel like as soon as it turned on, we
Hey.
just got so inspired. And we got that bird out of there.
Bird out
That was
of there.
amazing.
I don't think I've ever heard that story.
No birds were harmed.
Yeah, no birds were
Yes, they
harmed.
were. They just said it was breathing heavy.
I don't think so.
Whatever. What's your favorite memory?
Oh, man. That's a great memory. And I even, that was erased from my memory for a moment. So thank you for bringing that back. Wow. It really is hard to think. Because think about 10 years. So both the things you mentioned, obviously, great memories. My favorite memory, just looking back on it, is just one of those wow, we're getting to be a part of this. Because I think it was a combination of several years of already doing Summerhill stuff, and then we ended up people actually supported us to be able to make our live album.
Yes.
And we got to make our very first live album, and we got to do it at Bog Springs during National Camp or NC2. And it felt like having 1,000 friends just singing along on this album. And it just, even to this day, it's been several years since that happened. That's just one of the coolest, coolest
I'll go listen
moments.
back to especially Taste of Eternity. because I remember that moment. It
Yeah.
was so cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one's. I mean, that's not as humorous as the bird story or our trip on the bus, but in terms of just a memorable, like one thing I'll always be so incredibly grateful for is
Yeah.
the people that supported us to be able to make the album, and then again, like 1,000 people packed into the Bog Springs auditorium,
Yeah.
and just like going for it.
Yeah, it was
And,
crazy.
so that was really cool, really special memory.